All right, so as expected, excited here this morning. We got Super Bowl contender coming on in town, and we'll find out a lot about our team. I know they're geeked up and ready to go. We had a good walkthrough earlier today, and a couple new concepts went in for us offensively and defensively that we're looking forward to showcasing and playing our brand of football. So I'll go ahead and open it up from there.
And you set the 70% completions target for Caleb for the season, but also for practice. How often has he been hitting that? How is he doing on that for training camp?
I don't have the exact number, but we've been underneath that bar, which that happens. We're learning, we're growing. I think early on we were probably 55. It's gotten better as camp has gone on, but we haven't hit that threshold as often as we'd like.
Do you have a ballpark of what it's been lately?
I know I have the numbers on my desk, but I have not looked at it, so I gotta take a look at that.
Is there today, Sunday, next week, what are you looking for from your left tackles as you try to find an answer there?
Yeah, hopefully some clarity. That's what we're looking for. This thing's gone on now 3.5 weeks, and I said, and I'll say it again, we'll go as long as we need to go to find the right guy, but we'd like to see someone go ahead and make it clear to us that he is that guy, and we just haven't seen that yet as a staff. There's been too much up and down, and so today's practice will be a huge thing, and so will Sunday's game in terms of getting some clarity there on that. We'd love to go ahead and solidify that spot and move forward from there. And it might be one of those things where when we make that decision, it's not final for the season. It could be we have to reassess after a couple of weeks of the season, or by the bye week we might have to reassess. So it might be something that goes on. Wouldn't be ideal, but that's the name of the league. So
Specifically, what is your focus area of improvement with him?
It's really play speed. There are times where the feet have gotten a little bit slow at times, both in the run game and in pass pro. So the mental of just speeding up, ball snap, let's go ahead and get in a good physical position here to block the man in front of me. It's been a little bit of up and down.
When camp first started, you talked about the race to kind of get this thing ready to go. How do you balance the idea of you want it done now with Caleb realistically in the new system? Probably going to take some time into the season to look the way you want him to look.
Yeah, no, I think that's the balancing act that us as a coaching staff have to go ahead and figure out, because yeah, we do want it done a certain way, and we know what winning football looks like. But at the same time, we're at a different stage than in year one than where we'll be in year two or year three of this offense and this defense. And so I do it. It's a good reminder for me. Where I was last year, we played Buffalo in week 14 of the season, so I'm able to pull up that game plan and look at that game plan. We're not ready for some of those plays yet, to be frank with you. And then I go back and I look at the first game I called in 2022 against the Philadelphia Eagles. Well, that game plan was nowhere near what that Buffalo game plan was last year. So it's just perspective. It's the learning process, knowing where you start is not going to be where you finish, and making sure that we don't bite off more than we can chew here at this point. We just want to see these guys go out there, play clean football, and play fast.
How do you spend more time?
Where does Theo fit into the tackle competition right now? And is that a 3-man competition, a 4-man competition at this point?
I think he's right in the middle of it. I've been very, very excited about Theo and what he's done both on the right and the left side. So I don't think he's a guy, I know he was probably overlooked to start this competition, but the longer this thing's gone on, there's a strong argument for what he's put on tape.
What have you worked with Caleb on as far as the throwing accuracy, and did you guys look at last year at all, because he seemed kind of mystified by some of his accuracy issues from last season, because that's not been that wasn't an issue for him in college, and then he wasn't where he wanted to be.
I mean, it always
able to see that you could adjust.
In my opinion, it always starts with the feet. It doesn't matter what level you're at, but it always starts with the feet for a quarterback. And if you're not aligned properly from the ground up, then you're going to have inconsistencies with your target. So that's what we've been talking about, and specifically for all right-handed quarterbacks, when you throw to a target that's moving from the right to the left, you typically throw it behind. And so you have to train yourself to make sure you're opened up enough to throw him to where he's going to be and not where he's at. And so that's something we talked about going into the summer break, and something we still harp on. You can't get enough of that. It takes a long time to develop habits. And so you know, that's the starting point. I think he's got a beautiful throwing motion. I mean, that was ingrained into him at a young age, and I think that still shows up. So there's nothing mechanically wrong, but it's just all about the alignment and getting out in front of the target.
Ozzy has spent more time on the right side this week than he did on the left side. Have you noticed him? Ozzy
Yeah.
spent more time on the right side this week than the left side. Have you noticed him being more comfortable playing his natural position than on the left side?
There's no doubt that's probably where he's accumulated the most reps over the last few years, and so there is a comfort level that comes with that. And so when I talk about the feet and the speed of the feet, it is faster there on the right side. It is.
I'm sorry. With you considering, potentially continuing this evaluation through the bye week or up to the bye week, would you consider like a left tackle rotation mid games, or would you rather have a guy play one game and
We would not like to go that route. No, we want to go into a game saying this is our 5 guys. Those guys get the reps over the course of the week, and we'll go out and execute the game plan that way. But until somebody just clearly makes it known that this is their job, we have to let this thing play out.
The other
veteran
day you said-
experience mean a lot when you are looking at the matchups that you have coming in week and week out at that left tackle position, because you're gonna have Aiden Hutchinson, Micah Parsons, guys like that, opposite of whoever that left tackle is.
Yeah, this is not going to be a revolving door. That's not what we want. We want one guy to clearly come out and say this is his job. We haven't gotten that yet from our crew, and so at some point we have to pick somebody that's going to start week 1 if we don't have that clarity over the next, call it, week and a half, and we'll do that. And if we have to continue to battle it out over the course through the bye week and then that's the course of that's the nature of the NFL. We're going to start. I hate to say, I'd love to have just 5 guys start on the offensive line for all 17 plus games, but that's just not reality. We're going to have a lot of guys cycling on through. It's attrition. It's a long season. That's how this thing works. And so we're not afraid of it. It'll be next man up. And, if one guy's not performing up to snuff, then we'll find someone else that can.
You said the other day that, you said,
Same outlet, guys.
Game planning for Dennis Allen defense, what would be the top things on your radar that you'd really wanna be watching out for?
About Dennis Allen's
Yeah,
defense.
facing Dennis Allen's defense.
Yeah, it's what we have this shared vision of coming off the ball up front, attacking blockers, playing on their side of the line of scrimmage, and then the secondary coming up and challenging receivers in the passing game, rerouting, playing tight coverage. We need to be great tacklers in space. That's an area that we're looking to improve from week 1 to week 2 here in the preseason. And then having good eye discipline as well. That's another area that we've been talking about where we can get better from week 1 to week 2.
Ben, how long will
Last
starters
one,
play on Sunday?
To be determined.
So-
We'll see how the day goes.
Thanks, Ben.
Let's have some fun today, guys.
We already know.
Alright, so